Teea Goans is not your typical new country artist. Her love of classic country is reflected in her song Choice on her debut disc. She's not as into the radio-friendly hits of today as she is the more traditional hits of yesteryear. Her love of country music took her deep into the archives to find the songs that best fit her for her first project. You'll find songs written by legends such as Ernest Tubb, Bill Anderson, Hank Cochran, Willie Nelson, and Merle Haggard on her debut album. We had a chance to sit down with Teea to talk about her unusual journey into the business.
I just heard about the Time Jumpers, and John Huey had played on a demo that I sang on, and I kind of heard about the Time Jumpers through him, and I went to the station in one night and just fell in love with them and their music and that Western swing, and it was just, there was no music like that in Nashville that I had found, that real solid country music, and they're such an amazing group of players, and they're all so talented. So it was, I started going to the station, and every Monday I just kind of became a groupie, and I was there all the time. And one night they got me up to sing, and whenever I did that, I met Terry Choate, who was managing them at the time, and he said, we should do a record, and I said, okay, and that's kind of how it all started.
No matter what I do, I'm still not over you.
Two things that I noticed about Teea. One was that she really enjoyed the process. She enjoyed going looking for songs. She enjoyed being in the studio. She enjoys performing. She's a joyful person. She really likes what she's doing. And the other thing I noticed was she has patience. And she doesn't want everything today. She's willing to work for it. And one good thing leads to another good thing. And I noticed that the patience that she has is unusual and much appreciated.
I can't explain why seeing you affects my sanity.
I grew up listening to very traditional country music. For a long time I didn't know there was any other kind of music out there but the stuff that came out in the 60s and 70s. We had a little AM radio station in Missouri where I grew up, and that's all we listened to. And so I didn't know that there was a Michael Jackson or a Madonna. I just didn't know, And growing up and hearing all that music, that was really, to me, what country music was, and that's what it still is to me. And so when we decided to put this record together, that was something I was very adamant about, was that I really wanted to do a traditional country record. I've always considered myself a singer first. I've just kind of dabbled in the songwriting, and it's fun and I enjoy it, but I think I'm definitely a singer first, and I think there are way too many talented songwriters in this town for me to try to write a song necessarily. I think that it's left better to the professionals.
So walk out backwards.
I've gotten to work with Bill Anderson a few times. In fact, it's funny, I sang at a show back home in Missouri called the Truman Lake Opry when I was a kid, and we got to open a show for Bill Anderson way back then, and then I've met him now later, and we're friends now, and we recorded one of his songs, Walk Out Backwards, on the record. And every song has a really special meaning to me. I love the song Letter from God. That's one of my favorites. And the other song that I really love is I'm Still Not Over You. That was the one that we found on the Ray Price record that I had just, grown up thinking that was a great song, and I was so excited that we got to record it.
I almost spilled my coffee as the truth dawned on me. And oh my God was all that I could say. And it said, this is a letter from God.
To earn the respect of your heroes, to me, is such a humbling thing. And I've heard from so many of them, thanks for keeping this music alive. Thanks for doing this, and letting other people know that, letting that new generation know that this music existed, and if it weren't for this music, we wouldn't have the stuff that's on the radio now, you know, and I think there's a place for all of it. I think there's a place for traditional country music and contemporary. And I just think that, you know, my place is to be in the traditional side, because that's really where my heart is.
Might have been dreaming, but I'm still believing. I got a letter from God.
In 2011, we're really hoping to get out on the road and start doing shows and being out there and really meeting the fans and getting to know people, because I've gotten so much response, even just through Twitter and Facebook and things like that, and through my website, that it's been, you know, there are people out there that really want to hear this music. And so I'm very excited in 2011 to get out there and do some shows and be out on the road.
Now it's time for our weekly songwriter tip, brought to you by Nashville Songwriters Association International. NSAI is a wonderful resource for all songwriters. This week we'll sit down with Roxy Dean as she tells us why it's so important to open your mind to new ideas.
Sometimes it helps to consider an idea from all angles. Particularly if I'm stuck on a song, I'll think, is this the best way to go with this idea? Maybe I'm trying it as a ballad and it's not working, and maybe it'd be a funny song, or maybe it's best said in a poignant way, or maybe it's, you know, it's just always a good idea. Sometimes co-writing helps, bouncing it off of someone else to maybe think of a different way to say something. If the one alley you're going down doesn't pan out, it's nice to look at an idea from all angles.
Check out NashvilleSongwriters.com for more information on NSAI. That's about all the time we have for this week's show. We still have those Teea Goans discs up for grabs. If you want to enter this week's drawing, you have to email me your mailing address. That's Bailey@InsideMusicRow.com. Hey, don't forget to check us out on Facebook too for all the latest news and events right here in town. We're going to leave you today with that #1 hit from Blake Shelton, All About Tonight. Until next time, I'm Bailey for Inside Music Row, and I'll see you again real soon.